Makueni County agroecology policy was birthed by Honorable Janet Kitunga some years back on a member's motion requiring the county executive to develop a policy for agroecology policy. And it is important that leader of the minority, Honorable Kalunda, yes, have you forgotten that you are leader of minority? You are responding to Honorable Kalunda. You are aspiring. Oh, no, hold on. Just hold on. I'm making a special communication. Honorable members are aware that one of the roles of the members of the county assembly, collectively or individually, is to foster legislation. A while back, Honorable Janet Kitunga tabled a motion before this House urging the county executive to develop an agroecology policy. I'm happy to announce that this day today that the executive has provided and a document in the name of Makueni County Agroecology Policy pursuant to the motion moved by Honorable Janet Kitunga has been laid before us. If anything, should be dubbed Kitunga policy or Janet Mwikali Kitunga policy. So I wish to congratulate you on behalf of these members for partaking your responsibilities with legislation as such, and according an honor and a privilege to member for Ilima to table your policy. You can claim some credit just for tabling alone. Well done, Honorable Kitunga. Chairperson, County Delegated Legislation and Committee on Agriculture, Livestock, Corporate Development to consider pursuant to Statutory Instruments Act of 2018 and the report to the County Assembly within 21 days. Chairperson, Committee on Education, to lay a paper. Proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we have the report ready, but we've not adopted. So we'll be adopting tomorrow during the regular sittings for the committee. So we want to commit that we can table the same tomorrow in the afternoon, 2:30 p.m. session.
Your committee meets when? Regular sitting is what time?
Tuesday, 12.
Tuesday at noon?
Yeah, noon.
So the report will be ready tomorrow at 2:30?
Yes.
Fair enough. So you did not attend quorum this morning? Okay. Well done. Petitions. Member for Nzambani Vingoni. Petitions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the public petition by residents of Kadhonzweni Ward regarding the unilateral amendment of the 2025-2026 ward budget was tabled on the floor of the House on Wednesday, 20th August 2025, and was committed to the Budget and Appropriations Committee to report back to the petitioners by way of a report in 60 days pursuant to the Standing Order 232. Mr. Speaker, with your permission, so that I can work together with the members, allow me just to pinpoint on the petition request that came through. So in the petition, the petitioners stated that one, that during the financial year 2025-2026 budget formulation process, the Department of Finance and Socioeconomic Planning and the Department of Devolution, Public Participation and County Administration and Special Programs conducted a countrywide public participation exercise beginning from cluster, sub-ward, ward levels, and culminating at the county level harmonization and adoption forum at MIVEC, Wote, on 17th April 2025. That upon submission to the County Assembly, the budget was amended by the member of County Assembly from the ward as follows, without regard to the public input. 1, purchase of green grams and pigeon pea seeds allocated 1 million was defunded. 2, land governance, that is the legal clinics, was allocated 1 million, was defunded. 3, construction of workshop at Kadhonzweni CCTI was reduced from 3 million to 2.5 million. 4, construction of Kavumbu ECD classroom was reduced from 3.5 to 2.5 million. Number 5, construction of Motitun ECD classroom was reduced from 3.5 million to 2.5 million. 6, construction of the ECD classroom was reduced from 3.3 million to 2.5. 7, supply of tents and chairs, support to organized youth groups, and ultra-poor graduation program have been newly allocated a total of 1,050,000. 8, Mutula Care has been newly allocated 3 million. Upgrading, numbers 8, upgrading roads, that is HGM, Modemba Kwa Kizito, Yemulwa Road. The allocation was 3 million, was reduced to 2.5. And then lastly, new projects were allocated finance to a tune of 8.45 million, being machine hire for opening of roads, installation of security lights at Ikaasu and Kitain markets, C, maintenance and fueling of ward backhaul, solarization and equipping of Kadhamboni borehole, and lastly, rehabilitation of Kiku kwa Kafisi water project. That this petition is not before any court of law or constitutional or legal body. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, the Budget and Appropriations Committee during the 4th session of the 3rd Assembly on Wednesday, 20th August, the Honorable Speaker presented the public petition on behalf of the residents of Kadhonzoeni Ward regarding the unilateral amendment of the financial 2025-2026 ward budget by the member of the County Assembly for the ward. The petition was committed to the Budget and Appropriations Committee, and in the petition, the residents stated that A, all unauthorized changes made during that financial year, specifically the inclusion of projects that did not undergo public scrutiny, are immediately reversed. 2, the original people's budget was adopted on 17th April 2025 at MIVEC, be reinstated. Mr. Speaker, the committee sitting to deliberate on the public petition by residents of Kadhonzoeni Ward regarding the unilateral amendment of the financial year 2025-2026 ward budget was attended by the petitioners and the ECM for Finance, Planning, Budget and the Revenue. The deliberation of the committee during the meeting held on 9th December 2025 at the County Assembly were based on the following prayers of the petitioners. Mr. Speaker, I think I have taken you through the changes. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, upon investigation, the Budget and Appropriations Committee immediately took up the matter of the petition. Firstly, the committee was satisfied that the petition was not before any court of law. And these were the findings: that the committee held a consultative meeting with the petitioners, the ECM, and established that the petition presented to the committee lacked authenticity, and the petitions withdrew it during the committee meeting. Mr. Speaker, I want to repeat that the petition presented to the committee lacked authenticity, and the petitioners withdrew it during the committee meeting. Mr. Speaker, the committee recommended the following: that the Legal and Procedural Services and the Assembly Business Committee should scrutinize petitions properly to ensure that they don't contain falsified information before they are tabled to the House and committed to the committee. Mr. Speaker, as you know, that will amount to wastage of the Assembly time and even the committee time, and to an extension, Mr. Speaker, to the ECM and or to the other relevant stakeholders who are called to those meetings. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, it is my pleasant duty on behalf of the Budget and Appropriations Committee to present to this Assembly the committee's report on the public petition by residents of the Kadhonzoeni Ward regarding the unilateral amendment of financial year 2025-2026 ward budget by the member of County Assembly for the ward for transmission to the petitioners for their information and to other relevant officers for the action. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chairperson, evidence of withdrawal of the petition.
Mr. Speaker, it was established that all the information that were given were falsehoods.
How was it established? Where is a document to that effect?
Mr. Speaker, there are minutes to that effect.
Yes, there must have been submission. Who submitted that the documents were forged? We risk to say that the documents were forged and then someone will challenge this document. There's no evidence of withdrawal or evidence of forgery. Who submitted that the documents were forged?
Mr. Speaker, after deliberations, the members admitted that they were misguided, and therefore, probably what they ought to have written is a letter showing that they are formally withdrew that petition.
Who are these members?
The ones that are signed on the petition, Mr. Speaker. I think you have a copy to that
How
effect.
many members out of how many petitions?
Mine has 22 members.
Sorry?
My document has 22 plus 4. Those were the petitioners on the 17th April 2025.
Page.
It's not dated, I mean, it is not paged. I think it's one of the attachments.
Oh, the attachments.
Yes.
There is a letter inviting Shadrach Moya. There's only one petition invited in this case.
There's the invitation on 1st December. Then the attendance list is shown.
I've not seen an attendance list. What I'm seeing here is a confirmed sub-board development committee members. The attendance list here in attached is a list of the Department of Devolution during public participation. Where are the signatures of the petitioners?
Mr. Speaker, I'll check on that and get back to you.
Oh, clerk, now how did this document reach me?
There's one paper that is not there, the attendance list on that day of the petition.
Clerk, how did this document arrive before the speaker without the requisite attachments? Chairperson, the response doesn't respond to the petition. List of petitioners not attached. It is indicated that the petitioners withdrew. There is no answered record. If it was oral submission, you go to answers, get it transcribed, authenticated by answered recorder, and it's attached. If not so, they ought to have appended their signature by way of a memo that following this meeting held on this, we acknowledge that we were misled and therefore forthwith withdraw the petition addressed to the speaker or to the county assembly dated this. In the absence of all that, then
Thank you.
Your information is not supported, and
Yes.
therefore the petition is not responded. I do not know how this information left the committee, passed through the committee clerk, was processed through all levels of clerks until it arrived at the speaker. Only for me to peruse it, and in less than a minute, I can notice that the document is misleading.
Mr. Speaker, I have noted two things.
That is not addressed to you.
Yes, I understand, Mr. Speaker.
After you made your deliberation, someone ought to have organized the documents better. You are not elected to organize the documents.
I understand.
You are elected to give your contribution and ideas. Then someone else must ensure that whatever has been deliberated is documented in the right manner. So the pages are missing. No information other than your oral submissions. There is no document supporting your submissions.
Therefore, Mr. Speaker, as you conclude on that, I have also noted from the other petitions, because I have 3 of them, for Kalawa, Makindo, and that of Kadonzweni. Mr. Speaker, that list of the people who attended on the petition hearing date, Mr. Speaker, is missing, and it's very crucial. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I would wish, on behalf of the committee, to request that we relinquish this so that we can have that document attached. Please.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Can you put your house in order?
No problem, yes.
What you and your committee clerk are subjecting the reputation of the Committee on Budget is not the right thing. You are well experienced. Can you get this matter sorted? And let us get a report to tomorrow at 2:30.
Thank you.
Yes, fair enough. Next.
Mr. Speaker, sorry.
Yes?
Because, Mr. Speaker, there is a question of getting the petitioners to write that letter of, if it is not there, that they were misled. Mr. Speaker, I would beg that we up this matter on Monday to that, so that we can have the documents.
According to the clerk,
Yes.
it's unlikely and is unprocedural for citizens to attend a meeting and not register and append their signature.
Of course,
So
they
he
register-
feels that
yes.
that information is somewhere. Should it not be anywhere, then that will amount to some aspects of incompetence.
The register is there. Those who attended, I'm sure it is there.
That's why I'm saying tomorrow at 2:30 is sufficient, because according to the clerk, if that is not provided, then that is gross incompetence
Okay.
on another part. It is presumed the documents are there. So can you organize? Should we miss the document? We'll let you know.
Thank you.
Honorable Mwoki.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the chair budget is requesting for, you ruled that the report comes tomorrow in the afternoon. But he has a request that the report comes on Monday because the letter of withdrawal, he has mentioned that he doesn't have the letter of withdrawal of the petition by the petitioners. And on top of that, they don't have the list of the petitioners who attended the meeting of the committee. And Mr. Speaker, I'm saying this because, Mr. Speaker, you are the chair of this assembly, and when the public raise issues, Mr. Speaker, I think in a matter of a petition, Mr. Speaker, that petition is supposed to be properly handled, Mr. Speaker. And I'm saying this because there was a petition from Avendini, Mr. Speaker, which took 1 year to reach this house, Mr. Speaker. And the way it came to the house was not the proper way, Mr. Speaker, because you are the one who is supposed to read petition from the public. Mr. Speaker, it was read by Honorable Kimongo, who is the member from Avendini. And Mr. Speaker, the committee on health, Mr. Speaker, said that the petitioner withdrew, Mr. Speaker. And that was a very serious matter, Mr. Speaker, because somebody died after extraction of a tooth. And the other day we were seeing the television. The department being attacked nationally, Mr. Speaker, saying that there is something wrong with the Department of Dental Services in the Makueni Referral Hospital, Mr. Speaker. And that petition was about that. Somebody was extracted a tooth, and the lady died, Mr. Speaker. And that was the reason of the petition. But they did not see the light of the day. Somebody went, sat down somewhere, and they decided that we withdraw the matter, Mr. Speaker. When somebody is buried, Mr. Speaker. And this is the same thing which is happening, Mr. Speaker. I'm not saying there is anything at Kadonzweni, but procedurally, Mr. Speaker, we are supposed to hand over, to dispense petitions properly, Mr. Speaker. The committee doesn't have the list of the people who attended. And it's a report. They were, actually he presented the report. You are the one who is questioning. You did not allow us to interrogate the report because he tabled the report. He has gone through the report, Mr. Speaker, and said thank you, Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the committee. He reached there, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I respect your chair, and you are the chair of this house, Mr. Speaker. And the people of Makueni are looking at you to navigate this assembly according to the law and to the standing order. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Mwoki, you are in order to, by level best, the petition of Mavindini is still valid. Honorable Mbalu, when you attempted to close on that petition, I declined. I asked you to produce evidence of withdrawal of that petition. In the circumstances, clerk, I direct that that petitioner be listed tomorrow at 2:30. The matter is still pending until the committee produces evidence of withdrawal of the petition by the petitioners. But a telephone conversation or any other means cannot be admissible. No, let's not dwell on that. The chair of the ABC has directed that it's provided tomorrow. So tomorrow at 2:30, is that okay, Chair? Or Thursday at 2:30, Wednesday at 2:30? Fair enough. In the circumstances, having not picked a date, no problem, tomorrow at 2:30. Let that man come up or mention tomorrow at 2:30. We want to know the status because it's now over 6 months since directions were given to your committee to provide evidence of withdrawal of the petition. So you have had months to do that with your committee. Please do so. You know, we have to, honorable members, let me tell you why it's important. We will allow this petition to proceed, and maybe a citizen or citizens who come from nowhere or from somewhere, and they will say that the document that was read did not contain our names, and there was no specific or single signature of withdrawal of a petition. And then that would spin us. This petition can halt the implementation of Makueni County budget. This petition. So it's fair that we attach requisite documents to support the withdrawal and the matter is rested so that we keep the files clean. Thank you, Leader of Minority. Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Next order. We don't have statements. The Chairperson of Committee on Roads and Infrastructure to give a response to statement number 27 as created on 25th of August 2025 by Member Ford and Zhu regarding implementation of water affordable housing.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The Speaker, that response is not ready, owing to the fact that there are 3 items that the committee is seeking to respond to. Mr. Speaker, the committee has written a reminder letter since it did not receive that information. So allow the committee to respond to those issues on Monday next week. Thank you.
Honorable Felix. Fair enough. Well coordinated. Next order.
Order number 8, motion. The report of the Committee on Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries, and Cooperative Development regarding the implementation of various agriculture projects in the county.
Chairperson, on Agriculture. Chairperson, I asked for a list of members of committee, clerk, and the respective chairpersons. It's over here and I've never been given. He's supposed to be here. Chairperson of Committee on Agriculture, Vice Chair. Members of that committee. Clerk, get me a copy of membership. Honorable Gimongo. Go ahead.
Honorable Speaker, I have 2 motions.
Implementation of various agriculture projects in the county later on that. Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. We all know that this motion is as a result of a statement asked by Member for Emali Mulala that subsequently we converted into a motion. The Honorable Kaleli is away today. I understand they are conducting the via public participation for the municipalities today. I don't know, in your wisdom, whether we can proceed or we can defer.
Is the report ready?
Yes.
Proceed. Is a motion or a statement?
Okay, Honorable Speaker, I beg to move the following motion that this Assembly adopts a report of the Committee on Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Development, Corporate Development regarding the implementation of various agricultural projects in the county laid on the table of the Assembly on the 3rd December 2025. Honorable Speaker, I'll begin with the executive summary. Pursuant to provision of Article 185.3 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, Section 392 of the County Governments Act 2012, and Standing Order number 50 of Makueni County Assembly Standing Orders, the Honorable Cosmas Kaleli, MCF for Emali Mulala Ward, during the 94th sitting of the County Assembly, held on Monday 14th October 2024, requested for a statement regarding the implementation of various agricultural projects in the county. Honorable Speaker, the Speaker directed the Chairperson, Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fishery and Corporate Development to consider and avail a response regarding the above statement request to the County Assembly. Honorable Speaker, there have been several correspondences between the committee dealing with the matters agriculture within the county. The latest letter done, the ECM regarding the matter was done on the 6th August 2025, which had requested for the following matter. The Makueni County Food Processing Plant, that is Kalamba. What plans are the department put in place to make the plant fully operational? The level of autonomy of the plant of Makueni County Food Processing, Food Development and Marketing Authority. What duties do the contracted farmers perform when the plant is not operational? Honorable Speaker, the questions are long, and because I will tackle them at the answer level, I love that I don't read all what had been requested, but the same had been requested from Makueni County, integrated value addition, grain addition, plant at Makindu, and the same to Kitise Poultry Slaughterhouse and Gumo Poultry Aggregation Center, and same to Makueni Agricultural Training Center at Kwakathoka, same to Kikima Dairy Processing Plant, and same to Kaskeo Milling Plant, and same to Kavonsweni Livestock Yard. Honorable Speaker, the committee made the following findings. Despite the progress made in institutional growth, the market expansion and value addition, the operational agriculture flagship projects continue to face severe systemic, operational and structural challenges ranging from understaffing and capacity gaps, technical gaps, RTD line, working capital constraints, draft strategic plan 2025-2029 developed but not finalized, legal and policy framework limitations. The MCFDMA was experiencing lack of financial autonomy. The Act does not provide for revenue retention and reinvestment, requiring all internally generated funds to be swept into the account revenue fund. This limits the financial sustainability and operational flexibility. Staff hiring mandate, the Act does not clearly confer the authority powers to recruit and manage its own staff. Currently, staff are hired through the County Public Service Board, which creates bureaucracy, delays, and gaps in accountability and clarity of oversight roles. The Act does not explicitly delineate the oversight roles of the board, county executive, and county assembly, sometimes resulting in duplicational delays in decision-making. The MCFDMA experiencing marketing plan review bottlenecks such as a narrow commodity focus, that is mango only, ambiguities in the Act, delays in implementation, 100% reliance on county allocation, operational gaps, such as power fluctuations, RTD line underutilized, technical gaps, human resource gaps, human resource gaps, whereby 67 staff are required, against 16 in post and Makueni penetration gaps. in post and market penetration gaps, price higher than competitor products and structured distribution, limited retail visibility, and tapped export markets. Number 4, some of the projects commenced without a feasibility study report as they were implemented on the basis of strategic integrated value chain action plan, SIFCAP, developed by multi-sectoral actors, which was facilitated by the Agriculture Sector Development Project, that is ASDSP, that had identified the potential of the existing value chain sector to transform the county rural economy, especially the poor women and youth. Number 5, most of the agricultural products are not operational or are operating below production capacity, leading to high operational costs, leading to reduced profits due to economies of scale, and therefore expected revenue not achieved. Number 6, most of the plants are not fully licensed and compliant with the national and county regulatory bodies. However, the plants are registered as a workplace under OSHA CAP 2007. Number 7, review of the Makueni County Food Development and Marketing Authority Act is underway, and draft institutional policies not adopted. The MATC has a potential to operate under a larger learner enrollment capacity, but it faces following challenges: inadequate infrastructure, full-time trainers, inadequate funding, inadequate water supply, among others. Most of the projects dealing with effluent disposal does not have sufficient effluent treatment facility. But 10, it was noted that 1/3 gender rule was not observed. However, youth inclusion was observed. Number 11, there was increased leadership and governance-related issues and poor infrastructure, especially roads, limiting deliveries and distribution in most of the projects. Number 12, some of the projects are still underway in terms of completion in construction. For example, the Cascade Milling Plant, the Kathonsweni Stockyard, among others. Number 13, none of the project and land ownership issues. Specific recommendations. The committee recommends that the ECM for Department of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Cooperative Development to ensure the following. 1, that MCFDMA endeavor to perform the following: grant full operational autonomy, do proactive farmer engagement, fine-tune production, aggressive go-to-market strategy, revenue retention for reinvestment, gradual financial transition. That's the county support ends in financial year 2027-2028, and diversification into citrus. A progress report to be availed to the County Assembly within 60 days after adoption of this report. Recommendation number 2, for the Makueni County Integrated Value Chain Addition Plan at Makindu to fully obtain license and be compliant with the national and county regulatory bodies and be fully operational. The department to share a clear roadmap within 60 days to the County Assembly after adoption of this report on the strategies and interventions to be undertaken to fully operationalize the plans. Number 3, on the Kitise Poultry Slaughterhouse and Gumo Poultry Aggregation Center, since the department initiated construction of the projects within feasibility study, the department to initiate a post-construction feasibility study for both projects with detailed terms of reference, developed and data collection tools in place, and available to the County Assembly 60 days after adoption of this report. Number 4, on the Makueni Agricultural Training Center, MATC, at Kwakathoka, the department to address the following challenges: inadequate infrastructure, full-time trainers, inadequate funding. Thus, the current annual allocation of 4 million is not sufficient to run the ATC as per its potential, with an annual budget of 24 million. And inadequate water supply, and a progress report to the Assembly within 60 days after adoption of this report. Number 5, on the Kekima Dairy Processing Plant, to address issues of effluent disposal, leadership and governance-related issues, inadequate milk supply, which keeps fluctuating in seasons, making fluctuations and operational matters, and I file a progress report to the County Assembly within 60 days after adoption of this report. Number 6, on the Cascade milling plant, the department is required to develop technical evaluation with a view to scoping the exact works that need to be done, including the costing and advisory on the right equipment that are necessary for the operationalization of the milling plant, and I file a progress report to the Assembly within 60 days after adoption of this report. Number 7, on the Kabonsweni stockyard, the department to carry out repairs on the holding pens, loading ramps, water points, put in place a quarantine area for sick and suspect animals, designate areas for carcass disposal, and yard registration and licensing according to the national and county laws, and file a progress report to the County Assembly 60 days after adoption of this report. Honorable Speaker, we did the following general recommendations. The committee recommends that the ECM for Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries, and Cooperative Development to provide a progress report on the levels of implementation and authorization of the recommendations below to the County Assembly within 60 days after adoption of this report. This will ensure the following: that 1, focus on quick wins and long-term projects. Some initiatives, NG training programs, digital platforms can yield shorter-term results. Others, infrastructure apps, need longer vision and investment. 2, engage stakeholders early. Farmers, women, youth, community leaders, private sector, processors and exporters, NGOs, and research organizations, NG Carol, should be involved in planning and implementation. Ensure access to finance and inputs. Without affordable credit, access to quality seeds, fertilizer, pest control, many projects underperform. Number 4, sustainability and environmental considerations. Climate change, water scarcity, soil health, and real issues build in conservation, agriculture, soil testing, renewable energy, agroforestry where possible. Number 5, regulatory and standard compliance. For export value chains especially need phytosanitary control, low pest zones, certification, traceability. Also, ensure safety, environmental impact assessments where needed. Number 6, monitoring, evaluation, and adaptability. Monitoring, evaluation, and adaptability. Flagship projects should have measurable outputs or targets, yield increases, income changes, reduction in post-harvest losses. And the department should be ready to adapt based on feedback. Synergies with county and national plans, align with ongoing projects like NAFCDP, energy plans, extension reforms to avoid duplication, and leverage existing funding and institutions. Honorable Speaker, with that, of course, the committee acknowledges the support given to various stakeholders, and that is the end of this report on flagship projects and in the Agriculture Department. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would wish to call upon Honorable Balu to second the report.
Honorable members, I propose a question that the assembly of the report of the Committee on Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries, Cooperative Development regarding the implementation of various agriculture projects in the county. The report was laid on the assembly on 3rd of December, year 2025. The floor is open for debate. Move out of the motion.
Support by putting up a case. Thank you.
Now I put the question to the assembly of the report of the Committee on Livestock, Fisheries, and Cooperative Development regarding implementation of various agriculture projects in the county laid on the table of the assembly on 3rd of December, year 2025. As many as of the opinion say aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I take note of the committee's report, elaborate with recommendations Therefore, within the first 30 days, the committee should, on its own motion, seek the status of implementation of these resolutions. Within the first 30 days of the 60 days, inform clerk, inform the Waziri to file returns for the implementation of the said recommendations. Next order.
Order number 9, motion. The House brings the report of the Committee on Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Cooperative Development for the period January to June 2025.
Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move the following motion, that this Assembly adopts the report of the Committee on Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Cooperative Development for the period January to June 2025, laid on the Assembly of the Assembly on the 6th October 2025. Honorable Speaker, this Congress report covers a period between January to June 2025 for the County Assembly, Committee on Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Cooperative Development, and is an update on the details on issues dealt with by the committee. The report covers all the matters considered by the committee for the said period, including reports, statements, bills, regulations, petitions, and other issues raised within the committee pertaining its mandate. So, Speaker, sir, the report is divided into 7 parts in touching on the issues deliberated by the committee. Part 1 describes the committee's establishment of its mandate as stipulated in the Makueni County Standing Order number 217 and its membership. Part 2, 3, and 4 covers the major activities done by the committee and the achievements during this period. Part 5 contains the challenges faced by the committee and in its execution of duties and probably the recommendations therein. The Speaker, sir, during the period under review, the committee held 40 sittings with the primary objective of executing the committee's mandate in accordance with the provisions of Standing Order number 217.5, second schedule sectoral committees, and fourth schedule of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. It considered the following reports, namely, the half-yearly report of the Committee on Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries, and Cooperative Development for the year between July and December 2024. Number 2, the report on consolidation of the financial year 2024-2025, Makueni County Supplementary Budget 2 for the Department of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries, and Cooperative Development. Number 3, the report on the Makueni Fruit Development Program, known as Kilungu Ward Avocado, Kilungu Ward Has Avocado Project Financial Year 2023-2024. The report on the statement regarding grabbing of Makasakero Deep in Goma Sumba Ward. The 2025 Makueni County Fiscal Strategy Paper for the Department of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Cooperative Development. The report on the Makueni County Financial Year 2025-2026 budget estimates for the Department of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Cooperative Development. The report on project implementation status for the 3rd quarter under the Department of Agriculture, Fisheries and Cooperative Development, and the report of the public petition regarding the protection of cash crop farmers in Makueni County. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is worth noting that the committee concluded conclusively considered 8 reports, except the report regarding the avocado project in Kilungu Ward, implemented in financial year 2023-2024, which was deferred to the next half of the year. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the period under review, the committee deliberated on the following statements: the statement regarding the water tannery in Watenzio Ward, the statement regarding the lack of agroecology policy in the county, the statement regarding the grabbing of Makasakeso Deep in Go Masumba Ward, the statement regarding operations of the plowing and reaping contractor in Kikumbolio South Ward, the statement regarding the implementation of various agricultural projects in the county, the statement, yes. Mr. Speaker, the committee conclusively considered 4 statements. Yeah, these are repetition. Mr. Speaker, during the period under review, the committee conclusively considered the bill on Makueni County Agricultural Training Center Bill 2025 to its equivalent act. During the period under review, the committee considered the following public petitions. Number 1, public petition regarding the Makueni Fruit Development Program known as the Kilungu Ward As Avocado Project 2023-2025. The public petition regarding the appropriation of cash crop farmers in Makueni County. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee conclusively considered 2 petitions as stated. During the period under review, the committee held a consultative meeting with the Agriculture Sector Network, that is ASNET, and discussed key findings and recommendations for Department of Agriculture on the financial year 2025-2026 budget and policy analysis for the county. The Speaker, sir, the committee had its space to finalize on the following pending work during the 4th session: the statement regarding the lack of agroecology policy in the county, the statement regarding the implementation of various agriculture projects within the county, the report on the Makueni County Development Program known as the Kilungu Ward as avocado policy implemented in financial year 2023-2024, awaiting adoption of the motion by the County Assembly. Any other matter that shall be committed to the committee as per the standing order number 217. Committee achievements. The committee tabled 8 reports at the County Assembly, which were subsequently approved. The recommendations as contained in the reports were forwarded to the county department responsible on matters agriculture, pursuant to the standing orders. Number 2, considered and presented 4 statements to the County Assembly, which was satisfactorily responded. Considered all the statutory budgetary documents before it for the financial year 2024-2025, supplementary budget 2, the financial year 2025-2026, Makueni County annual estimates, and the financial year 2025 Makueni County fiscal strategy paper for the department responsible for agriculture. Number 4, considered the Makueni County Agricultural Training Center Bill 2025. It was later ascended to by the governor to become Makueni County Agricultural Training Center Act 2025. Number 5, satisfactorily responded to the public petition regarding protection of cash crop farmers in Makueni County. Observations. In addition to the above achievements, the committee made the following findings: that there was frequent engagements with the department through consultative meetings, which aided in upholding the good working rapport. There were delays in disbursement of the funds from National Treasury, which affected project implementation and service delivery to the county residents. That there was remarkable improvement on committees' punctuality to each sittings, and that the said annual budget of 1 million for oversight by sectoral committees seemed insufficient given the number of agricultural projects across the county. Challenges. The committee did not have any thematic training or capacity building during the period under review, which would have instead improved its knowledge and skills in handling and executing its mandates, pursuant to studying under 217.5. There was financial constraint experienced by the committee during its oversight role. That's 1 million for sectoral committees. Recommendations, Honorable Speaker. The committee recommends that there should be adequate continuous consultations and cooperation between the committee and the county department dealing with matters agriculture in the county for effective performance. Number 2, the County Assembly administration and its leadership to factor capacity building and organize thematic training on benchmarkings to the committee by the end of the 2nd quarter of this financial year. The County Assembly leadership to consider increasing the committee's budget allocation of 1 million to at least 1.5 million for sectoral committees so as to perform some of the site visits before them. Number 4, the department responsible should provide quarterly budget implementation reports and resolutions as per the timelines in the reports from the County Assembly Committee. 5, the department responsible should always provide update on the status of implementation of resolutions emanating from the committee and approved by the County Assembly. Number 6, the committee to continuously fast-track on timely implementation of projects in the department through program-based oversight. Number 7, the committee to ensure that the department has improved project absorption rates to ensure timely implementation and planned programs witnessed during reviews of such statutory budget documents. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, the above recommendations should be adhered to by all stakeholders for the improved work of the committee's output. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Of course, acknowledging the other stakeholders, including the Office of the Clerk, the Office of the Speaker, for the support given to this committee during this time of review. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me call upon member for Kikumbulus North to second.
Honorable members, I propose the question that this assembly adopt the half-yearly progress report of the Committee on Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Corporate Development for the period January to June year 2005, laid on the table of assembly on 6th of December year 2025. The floor is open for debate. Mover of the motion.
Speaker, I hope that silence dictates a positive response.
Let's check whether it does. Honorable members, I put the question at this assembly adopt the report. That is the half-yearly progress report of the Committee on Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Cooperative Development of the period January to June year 2025, laid on the table of the Assembly on 6th of October year 2025. Plus many as of our opinion say aye. Plus many as of our contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, that report should be conveyed to the Assembly Business Committee and Liaison Committee for consideration. Next order.
Order number 10, motion. The report of the Committee on Environment and Climate Change on the conservation of the Mangalete Wetland Ecosystem Report.
Mover of the motion. Chairperson, Committee on Agriculture or the Environment, rather. Vice Chair.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following motion that this Assembly adopts the report of the Committee on Environment and Climate Change on the consideration of the Mangalete Wetland Ecosystem Report laid on the table of the Assembly on 13th October 2025. Mr. Speaker, with your allowance, I would wish to go directly to the executive summary for the sake of time management and time saving. Do I have your nod? Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, the County Steering Committee raised concern on continued degradation of Mangalete ecosystem. To address the matter, a restoration plan was planned to restore the ecosystem was initiated, and the Mangalete status report forwarded to the County Assembly. The report was tabled on 24th February 2025, and subsequently committed to the Committee on Environment and Climate Change for consideration and reporting. Mr. Speaker, sir, the report highlights the various strategies for implementation to address the degradation of the wetland and subsequently restore it, which includes population growth and increased resource demand, poor farming methods, and unsustained land use management, forest and bush fires in the wetland catchment, illegal water obstruction, and obstruction, low level of awareness in conservation and restoration, occasioning constrained livelihoods, lack and/or weak synergy in governance and coordination, lack of basic county level environmental protection and management level framework, land conversion and uncertain land tenure. The Speaker, sir, the committee considered the status report and amend the following findings. 1, Mangalete wetland ecosystem was facing numerous challenges resorting to degradation. Human activities such as farming and deforestation was polluting the wetland, thus threatening its existence if and restoration measures, if restoration measures are not put in place. 2, Mangalete wetland ecosystem was not gazetted and was therefore being encroached into by the people living around. 3, the Directorate of Environment and Climate Change had partnered with the various stakeholders, including the KWS, WRUA, to restore the Bangalete wetland. Further, inadequate patches and lack of continuous community sensitization was noted for consideration in attempts to restore Bangalete wetland. The Directorate of Environment and Climate Change formulated the Makueni County Forest Management and Landscape Restoration Bill, and which was under consideration by the County Assembly. The bill seeks to provide the implementation of specific national government policies on forestry in accordance with Section 10 of Part 2 to the 4th schedule of the Constitution 2010. The Speaker, sir, the committee recommends the following. That is, after considering the above key points. 1, the ECM responsible for environment and climate change should allocate adequate funds in the subsequent budgets for restoration of Bangalete wetland. 2, the ECM responsible for environment and climate change should liaise with the relevant national government agencies to fast-track the gazettement of the Bangalete wetland ecosystem to avert further degradation, and progress report provided to this committee within 60 days after the adoption of this report. 3, the ECM responsible for environment and climate change should continuously implement the initiatives put in place to restore Bangalete wetland ecosystem, and progress report provided to this committee within 90 days after the adoption of this report. The County Assembly should fast-track the approval of the Makueni County Forest Management and Landscape Restoration Bill 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, having said that, I would wish to acknowledge, on behalf of the committee, your office and the clerk's office for the facilitation and for the support which you have given unto us. I also thank the honorable members of the committee for participating in the entire period with the zeal and for their commitment in discharging their mandate effectively. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the committee, I present this report to the Assembly for adoption. Mr. Speaker, having said that, I think this is an issue which has come to this House, and we have discussed it at length, and as a committee, we went and looked at it so keenly, and I believe what we found, the members will find it worthy of adoption and assertion. In this context, I call upon Honorable Jonathan Kimongu, the honorable member from Avindini, to second this motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable members, I now put the question that is assembled of the report of the, propose the question that is assembled of the report of the Committee on Environment and Climate Change on the consideration of Bangalete Wetland Ecosystem Report laid on the table of the Assembly on the 13th of October year 2025. The floor is open. Mover of the motion. Member for Bangalete.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this member is for Ivingoni Zamani ward, but then Bangalete falls within that.
So
yes.
You are a member representing the Bangalete.
Exactly.
And other areas in that ward.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, from the onset, I am a member of that committee. Mr. Speaker, one issue that I raised, and I would wish to request Kalunda to allow the chair to listen to my submissions. Mr. Speaker, I would wish, because the chair isn't.
The chair, mover of the motion. The members who are seeking your attention. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I was saying that I am a member of this committee. And one issue that I raised during the committee, and especially on that recommendation of gazettement. Mr. Speaker, once an area has been gazetted, it becomes a public land. And Mr. Speaker, I would wish from your chair, because I am one person, being a member of the Environment Committee, who supports restoration of wetlands. But then again also, Mr. Speaker, how Bangalete wetland is, Mr. Speaker, should I say it has gone into private lands? Mr. Speaker, I would wish from your chair that you direct, before the gazettement, the committee and the ECM and the stakeholders, we agree. If we are to gazette, let us be clear on the left and the right from the wetland, how much land of private land is going to be encroached, Mr. Speaker, so that people will not feel like the government is coming to take up their land. Mr. Speaker, on the other item that I would wish to bring to the attention of the House is that, Mr. Speaker, you'll find that here in the environment, like Kamahap, where we are right now, there's a spring. And then at a place like Nyonzu, about 5 kilometers, or should I say, yeah, there's another spring. And another, on Kaiti, maybe there's another spring, and all, taking water downstream towards Suffolk West National Park. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I am not sure, even though maybe experts on that area will guide us, how that gazettement will be done. Because in between here and the other area, there are private lands. And you will find that during rain season, even the shallow wells that we've dug, Mr. Speaker, they give out water that flows out to the surface. It forms a river, it becomes a wetland again. And during the dry season, like right now, the water goes down. It's just wells in the homes, in the various individual homes. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, it's an area that, as we continue to pass this motion, I would wish that you also offer some more guidance, that expertise comes in so that the government does not appear to be encroaching on other people's property. Thank you. Because they also have a right to protection.
Mover of the motion.
Mr. Speaker, on the same matter, I believe that is something which is doable. However, the honorable member, I believe, is also a member of the same committee. And it would have been very prudent if these issues would have brought them before the committee when we were writing this report and discussed at length. And I believe since that has been captured, it is not undoable. We can go ahead and still adopt the motion, because that has also talked about it. It is also talked about the same motion, where we are talking about the issue of identifying who has encroached to the Mangalet land and who was not encroached, so that we can definitely have a clear path of what needs to be done. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I urge members to support the motion unanimously. Thank you.
The motion has been seconded. Are you opposing or supporting? See, during his response to the motion, now I gave an opportunity for members to contribute. And Honorable Mwoki, you asked me to steer this House in line with the rules, procedure, and traditions. In the circumstances, you are outside the rules that you asked me to follow. After the motion has been responded to, unless you are raising on a procedural point of order on a matter that is not touching on that motion, then the motion has since been question proposed, motion moved, question proposed, debate has taken place, the mover has responded to the motion. The only, what is it? Is it a point of order? Point of order, or what is it? The information you can give after. Can we put the question and then you give information? Honorable Monique. Yes, thank you for reminding members that you are not addressing anybody. You are specific, not to attract a point of order. What is it?
Mr. Speaker, there is an issue that arises from the motion, Mr. Speaker. And this is a matter of committee business, Mr. Speaker, because we are talking about wetlands in Mangelet. And this matter was brought before the committee, Mr. Speaker. And they have tabled a report, Mr. Speaker, based on on the committee findings, Mr. Speaker. But the committee did not go to Mangelet. The issues which are being brought by Honorable Member for Bingoni and Zambani, Mr. Speaker, about so many springs forming the wetlands, Mr. Speaker, and the issue of gazettement. Who is supposed to be gazetted? The committee did not go to Mangelet, Mr. Speaker. That is what I'm saying. The committee did not go to Mangelete, and that is, Mr. Speaker, we cannot support the report as it is, because the committee did not visit the area which is being mentioned. I think, Mr. Speaker, you are getting my point. Yes, Mr. Speaker, and this issue is going around to settle with the committee, the liaison committee, Mr. Speaker. God is the one which allocates committees and to monitor how committees are performing their duties, Mr. Speaker. You cannot start talking about Mangelete when you are inside this assembly and you never went beyond Kibwezi towards Mangelete. What are you telling us, Mr. Speaker? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
On the point of order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I know the point of order is supposed to be raised like, is it a point of order? But, Mr. Speaker, people will not understand what I mean. Mr. Speaker, from the committee level, I raised this issue, and I requested that the committee visits. Mr. Speaker, when we talk about land, and it's private land, it's a very emotive issue. And when we talk about gazettement, Mr. Speaker, and I want you to believe, to imagine, Mr. Speaker, when I come to your land and I'm telling you that an acre has to be exercised from your land, and some people have long stretched along the river, that amounts to about close to 10 acres along the river. Mr. Speaker, that calls for the committee to visit and to hear and to see, Mr. Speaker, before they write the report. I had requested the committee that we have an arrangement so that they can go and see what we are talking about. Mr. Speaker, as I had explained, there is where the stream is, and there is where the springs come up. And Mr. Speaker, it's a very expansive area. I am born and raised there, and Mr. Speaker, I know what I'm talking about. In 2020, Mr. Speaker, almost about 20 homes developed the natural springs, and water was flowing from every other homestead towards the other side, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, what we are raising, Mr. Speaker, within your powers, if you can direct the committee, Mr. Speaker, to visit the site, as I had requested before we drew this report, that would be helpful, so that, Mr. Speaker, we do not attract some sentiments that ought to have been caught during this period. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member from Titwane Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. However, I might have taken the opportunity to rise a bit late, but I wanted to challenge Honorable Maneki, because when he rose, the mover of the motion has been given over to reply. But the matter now is raising is very substantial. But he might not know the history behind the Mangelete wetland. At time, a delegation from the national government, which is in charge of wetland, came around this place, and they visit so many wetlands from Kinambu all the way to Kwachai, where Honorable Kalunda is, and I accompanied the team all the way to Mosima Springs. And we were even with some, and members, also Honorable Mutia was also invited, I was invited, and I think all members who are within that wetland were invited. Even the environment officer from the department were also there. But I wish also to recognize that Honorable Maniki, over time and persistently, has been claiming the liaison committee is to blame. But I understand each committee, even environment committee, where the Honorable Mutoka, Honorable Mutie sit, we gave them an opportunity of over at least $1 million shillings to do what they wish to do. So if they decided to go to a retreat in Nairobi, and they didn't prioritize going to Mangelete, it's not the business of liaison. It's the committee to plan for itself. So I feel as a liaison, which most of the chairs are here, and the chair liaison, chair environment, when I'm not there, he usually chairs the committees of liaison. So I'm worried why he has persistently been blaming the liaison committee. Thank you.
Mover of the motion on the issues raised. Oh, just a minute. Are you speaking on Mangalete? No. On procedure, I'll give you after. Honorable members, motion mover, you had replied? Yes, you clarify the few issues and then we proceed. The rest of the things, I'll give you an opportunity after the motion so that you can ventilate. Even if I give you an opportunity now, you are not going to change the motion. Either vote yes or no. Proceed.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker,
Who is on the floor?
I want to appreciate.
Speaker, you have given me the
I want to
floor.
appreciate you for this opportunity. Honorable Speaker, of course, I do not have another opportunity to maybe speak about this motion. And one, I will speak about the choice of the Committee on Environment, because they are represented at Liaison. I want to agree with Honorable Deputy Speaker, who chairs the Liaison. But still, it is good we prioritize these things. Before we go for retreats, we need to exhaust matters to do with the visits on the ground. So I want to blame the committee for failing to go to Mangerete. This was a very important business of this assembly without us now bringing a lot of side shows, Honorable Speaker. Two, Honorable Speaker, I listened also very keenly, and I could not tell if those stories are not verified. People, members of the committee didn't visit Mangerete. Why should they bring a report here, Honorable Speaker? That's a substandard motion, Honorable Speaker. I expected even the Honorable Chair for Environment to even withdraw this statement, to withdraw this motion, and maybe give it some leave. We come back with it at some time when they have visited the ground, Honorable Speaker. Otherwise, we'll be duplicating a lot of things. We'll be asking for something we should have exhausted, and then you will not have the correct answers. I have seen the report. It's very unfortunate that you've not visited. I remember when the department was visiting those springs, even in my place, Kwachai, the committee did not bother even coming for those meetings, Honorable Speaker. The committee should not be here to only do some weird environment stuff. I saw the chair was very committed some time back when the world was speaking about environment and climate change, Honorable Speaker, and he was even involved going to Wajir and other counties where things have changed. But with our local staff here, the chair seems not to be keen on that. And that's why you can see he has delegated the work of reading this statement to the Honorable Deputy Leader of Majority. It's very unfair. Can you withdraw this statement? Can you withdraw this motion? If you don't, members may even choose to vote no. Three, Honorable Speaker, we have opportunities. Before you put the question, the procedure is you can only propose the question, then they don't even need to respond. In fact, it's just a precedence we set that chairpersons can be given time to respond to the matters which have been put across by members, so that you convince them to vote a yes on your motion. Otherwise, it is not a prerequisite for you to be given an opportunity to respond to our issues. We may respond by just saying a big no, but the Speaker is magnanimous enough to give you opportunities to respond to these issues, Honorable Speaker. Otherwise, Honorable Speaker, if he doesn't remove or stop the movement of this motion, Honorable Speaker, we may vote a big no. And I want to read the mood of my side, Honorable Speaker, except for Honorable Kimongo, who may not now shout because he comes from the same committee, Honorable Speaker. I can tell you this motion is going to fail. If you do not remove this motion from the table, Honorable Speaker, we are not going to vote a yes, Honorable Speaker. I want to challenge the Honorable Deputy Leader of Majority. You are not the chair of this committee. You just came in because the chair so you can read. You see, there is a motion mover, there is a motion reader in the National Assembly who removed the Deputy President. And he had not studied the motion very well, Honorable Speaker. So it may be the same problem with you, Honorable Speaker. I'm challenging him. You know, the motion mover, except for the senators because they were paid already, I can tell you the motion mover has not studied that motion. And it seems he has not also studied this motion. And you can tell the Honorable Chair, the Honorable Member from Titwande, who happens also to know these springs, Honorable Speaker, and the Honorable Member for Ivengon. and myself, where I also come from Many Springs area, Honorable Speaker, I can tell you we are going to fail this motion with a big no. Please, members, can you join us in saying a big no so that the Honorable Deputy Leader of Majority understands what we mean? I understand Honorable Kimongo is going to give you a yes, but I can also clip him to also make sure we get a big no for this motion so that you understand this. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I know he's going to act. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members. What?
Mr. Speaker, I would be told there is a meeting in Mangelete, and at that moment I'm not around. And it's a meeting that has been arranged by stakeholders. It is the truth. You cannot speak about my ward, mister. This is my ward, and these are my people we are talking about. When gazettement is done, it's going to be done on my people. Mr. Speaker, all those stakeholders that are being mentioned, they visited Mangelete in my absence. Mr. Speaker, if only, Mr. Speaker, you could come and see where those springs are, you will be even you would even be against the gazettement. We would go for the restoration part of it, but not gazettement, because it's a first land. You will not even know where to gazette. Mr. Speaker, where those people were taken is one spring, which we call it the main spring, but we have about 15 springs. And Mr. Speaker, if this doesn't come on the floor right now, where will it come upon? And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I also advise members of this assembly, when you visit other people's wards, and especially on business touching on this house, invite the area MCS. Invite the area MCS. But if you are going on leisure and other businesses, you can go, it's okay. So, Mr. Speaker, I do not agree, and I raised it even before the committee. Thank you.
Move out of the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. It's very unfortunate that a member of committee who has all the information, all the invitations, all the details, can stand on this committee, on this assembly, and they refuse a report which has come from the same committee, yet he did not bring it how to be recorded. In this context, Mr. Speaker,
move out of the motion. You can't gang members of committee to support a motion.
I'm not refusing.
They are members of committee, but they have individual.
But when at the committee level, Mr. Speaker.
So that is in order, proceed. They have a right.
At the level of the committee, Mr. Speaker, and I stand to be corrected, when members adopt a committee, it becomes part of them. You cannot go and think over it overnight. You come and refuse on the floor because you want to play in the gallery. You become part of the committee. Point number 2, Mr. Speaker. We cannot play in the gallery because we want to win some force on the other side to come and incite members on the floor so that people can refuse a report. There is a consistency of how things are done in this house. This context, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would wish to say this. The committee, every committee in this assembly operates in 3 levels.
Respond to the motion.
Yes, that's where I'm coming now.
Don't teach procedure.
I'm coming to that,
No. Respond to the motion.
I'm coming to that, yes.
Respond to the motion.
Allow me to respond.
Yes.
About this report, Mr. Speaker, you've heard me speak very candidly about how it was done. And some of the recommendations involve where we are telling the department to involve all the stakeholders, including national government. The land in question is not account land. It's a land which is owned by both the national government and the county government. And we have told them, the department, not the committee, we don't actually engage the national government. It is the department to bring on board all the stakeholders, including ourselves. That's one of the recommendations. So I don't know why we are running after the wheel. The wheel is coming in, and all these people will be involved when the department goes ahead and brings every stakeholder on board so that we can be able to establish who is who at Mangatala land. In this context, I'm saying, let us support this motion because it will give way, it will pave way for what they're asking to be done. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rest my case.
Honorable members, I now put the question that this assembly of the report of the Committee on Environment, Climate Change on the consideration of Mangalete Wetland Ecosystem Report laid on the table of the Assembly on 13th of November, year 2025. Will as many as of their opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of our contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The nays have it. Honorable members, when I give you an opportunity to vote, you vote. Just a minute. When I give you an opportunity to vote, please vote if you have something to oppose. But when you don't support in acclamation, hoping to win, and others vote against, now what do I do? However much I would want Bangalore to be gazetted. In fact, for purposes of record, I was the first Minister for Environment and Climate Change to recommend gazettement of Bangalore. So in this case, I should have voted with you because I'm biased to gazettement. Not limited to that, including Q, and I have records in my emails. So Honorable Chair, understand me. I'm a proponent of that, including proposing gazettement of all county forests so that then no human being can step in them. I'm on your side. But now, what do I do when you don't convince Honorable Mulemba, who is on highs, but he doesn't say hi? You know, you may have 100 people on your side, but they don't give the acclamation. Now, what is your point of order? None. Next order.
Order number 11, motion. The report of the Committee on Water, Irrigation and Sanitation on the oversight on problematic water projects across the county, conducted on 21st and 22nd of August 2025.
Mover of the motion.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following motion that this Assembly adopts the reports of the Committee on Water, Irrigation and Sanitation on problematic water projects across the county conducted on 21st, 22nd, and 22nd August 2025, laid on the table of the Assembly on 6th October 2025. Mr. Speaker, I'll go direct to the executive summary for this report. The County Assembly exercises oversight over the county executive as set out 2010. As read together with Section 8 of the County Governments Act 2012, further, the County Assembly Committee on Water, Irrigation and Sanitation exercises oversight over the Department of Water, Irrigation and Sanitation on all matters outlined in Part 2 of the 4th Schedule of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, and executes its mandate in accordance with the Makueni County Assembly Standing Order 217, subsection 5. The Speaker, sir, Article 43 of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, declares that under economic and social rights, every person has the right to clean and safe water in adequate quantities. The right to water is a basic human right, which is recognized as such both under international and national laws. The County Assembly Committee on Water, Irrigation and Sanitation deliberated and organized for an oversight activity on problematic water projects on 21st and 22nd August 25 across the county. For effective and efficient running of the exercise, members of the County Assembly were grouped into 15 groups, with each group visiting 2 wards over the 2-day exercise. The methodology used, Mr. Speaker, sir, is that the groups undertaking its activities employed open interviews for sustainability committee members and they took notes while talking with the respondents and also mandate observations. The groups took note in reference to the following numerical terms of reference. Mr. Speaker, if you allow me, without going through the terms of reference, I'll go directly to the findings. So after going through the terms of reference, which each and every member is aware about, the committee came up with the following findings or observations. One, that most of the water projects were implemented or done to completion and as per the scope of the works. In addition, the project management committee were also involved during implementation of the projects. Most of the water projects achieved their main objectives of supplying water to the local community, including schools and the market, apart from a few like Haiti 2 water project, which is still having challenges of water shortages. 3, that most of the project water committees and the community members had no knowledge about hydrological surveys done before implementation of the projects, nor aware of the required prior approvals, licenses, and environmental impact assessments obtained before the work began. Though some projects didn't require hydrological surveys, approvals, licenses, or impact assessment, some of the projects used old machines to pump water, which have high maintenance cost and high fuel consumption rates, hence making it difficult to run the projects. For example, Tutine, water project in Emali or Mulala Ward, kwa Mailo Mboho in Kimakyu, Klanzoni Ward. Number 5, vandalism of water infrastructures was evident, reported in most water projects done, thus affecting functionality. For example, the Kwakamusa water project in Ikea Ward, solar power, pipelines, pipeline water reservoirs, and what a few. Ita water project in Kikumini, Mufau, water, Mwangini, Ketivo, water project in Gaskeo, all these were vandalized. Most of the water projects done have not been fenced have not been fenced. Hence, security and those fenced not been fenced. Hence, have security issues. And those fenced, some were actually vandalized. Most of the project management committees are unable to run the water projects sustainable to be able to cater for the operational costs. Number 8 is that some of the projects were reported to have high yield and functional, but with the shortage of storage tanks and extensions. For example, Tutine water project in Emali Mulala Ward. Number 9, some of the water projects faced delay in implementation as a result of approvals sought from other government agencies. For example, Mulima water project, which needed approvals from Kenya Forest Service for whale leaf. In number 10 is in some projects, the water sumps have been filled with the sand and the silt, hence reducing the yield. For example, Kiku, Kwamalika water sump in Ngu Masumba Ward, Lower Nguani water project in Tulimani Ward, Usi Wasa water project in Kilungu Ward, Kikuo, Kwa Kavisi water project in Kadhonzweni Ward, Kwa Kwanga borehole in Nguma Ward. 11, some of the water projects were given budgets before the bill of quantities were developed, hence limiting the scope of works for various projects. 12, established water projects have water tariffs that may need review. 13, some of the projects have developed malfunctioning due to poor workmanship by the contractors. For example, using the wrong class of pipes as per the BQ. Some of the other dams were breached due to poor compaction on the embankment wall or poor workmanship on the spillway. Number 15, some water projects are stalled and they require additional funding for completion. It was witnessed that most of the other dams' water is fetched directly from the source, exposing community members to risks of disowning and waterborne diseases since the water is used for domestic purposes, including drinking and washing of utensils. Number 17, for some projects, the submersible pumps were found to be faulty leaking, and the bursts were also evident resulting to non-revenue water. For example, Kilala water projects in Ukia Ward, Katangini water project in Mazongaleni Ward, Ikungu water project in Makindu Ward, Chaluma, Bo'o in Kako Ward, Kisinzi water project in Kilili, Kalamba Ward. 18 is that some of the water projects have been done to completion, but the community cannot access water due to issues of land disputes where there were no proper agreement documentations between the county government and the landowners. For example, Kikuo, Kwakavisi water project in Gadozweni Ward. Based on the 18 findings, the committee gave the following recommendations. One is to ensure that in the subsequent years, the bills of quantities for every project should be made available and formally shared with the respective project management committees at the time of project launch. By providing this information at the launch stage, the committees are better equipped to monitor implementation, promote accountability, and enhance transparency throughout the project cycle. To ensure that there is a standard practice to prepare bills of quantities during the budgeting process to certify that water projects receive sufficient funding that reflects their actual scope of work and the resource requirements. 3, ensure that in the subsequent years, all products and materials supplied for solar projects should undergo verification and certification by the department responsible for energy to confirm that they conform to the specifications outlined in the bills of quantities. This process should further ensure that the items provided are first-tier quality, reliable, and suitable for long-term use. Number 4 is to ensure that all water supply projects adopt hybrid or integrated power systems that combine solar energy with the grid electricity. This will reduce dependence on a single source of power, minimize instances of power failure that disrupt water supply, and help lower electricity costs associated with the pumping and distribution. Number 5 is that adequate funds should be set aside in subsequent budget cycles to provide perimeter fencing for identified water projects. Fencing will help prevent unauthorized access, protect installations from being damaged, and safeguard water resources from their contamination by domestic animals. Besides that, the department should develop measures to enhance security in collaboration with the national government, and this includes enforcing Section 7 of the Makueni County Water Act 2020, which addresses vandalism of water, sanitation, and the sewerage infrastructure. The department should also incorporate modern technology, such as surveillance cameras, to deter theft and vandalism. These security enhancements should be put in place within the budget of 2025-2026. Formally, there should also we should also engage the Critical Infrastructure Protection Unit within the budget year of 2025-2026 and subsequent financial years to classify key water installations as protected infrastructure, and this classification will secure police protection and allow offenders to face legal consequences, including fines or imprisonment. 8, through subsequent budget allocation, the ECM for water should digitize all water projects operations, including metering systems and the water kiosks to reduce revenue leakage. Regular surveillance of distribution lines and a strict adherence to pumping schedules should also be enforced to ensure accountability and efficiency in service delivery. Number 9 is to ensure every water project that generates revenue should maintain a designated bank account. Funds collected should be used primarily for the operation, management, and maintenance of the project. These accounts must remain subsequent to the regular audits and oversight to ensure transparency and accountability as provided for in Regulation 41 of the Makueni County Water Services Regulation 2020, and this should be done before the end of the year 2025-2026. 10 is to allocate funds in upcoming budgets to increase the number and capacity of storage tanks in projects with high water use. Additionally, distribution pipelines should be extended to ensure that larger areas and more households benefit from available water resources. Besides that, all departments involved in water projects should prioritize timely approval processes from relevant agencies to prevent unnecessary project delays and the cost overruns. As stipulated in Section 6, Subsection 3, which gives power to ECM in the discharge of duties and functions. Number 12, the ECM for devolution, public participation, county administration, and special programs through ward development offices should develop a comprehensive public education and awareness program in collaboration with the ECM for water, sanitation, and irrigation. This initiative should sensitize communities on safeguarding and sustaining water projects, which are key to their own livelihoods. The program should be rolled out within 90 days of adopting this report, and a copy shared with the County Assembly for oversight purposes. The County Assembly should provide for adequate and progressive budgetary allocations under the ward fund budgets to gradually revive and complete stalled water projects. This legal harmonization should be finalized before the close of the 2025-2026 financial year to strengthen compliance and streamline service delivery. The Department of Water, Irrigation and Sanitation should prioritize and expedite the conversion of Makueni Rural Water and Sanitation Board into fully fledged water service company in strict conformity with the National Water Act and the regulatory framework issued by the Water Services Regulatory Board, as this will enable proper management and operations of water projects across the county. This should be undertaken before the end of the year 2025-2026. Each specific recommendation outlined for each specific water project in this report should be implemented in line with the timelines provided. Regular follow-up and progress reporting should be undertaken to track compliance and ensure full execution. Mr. Speaker, sir, having said that, I would wish to take this opportunity on behalf of the committee to thank the Office of the Speaker and Clerk of the County Assembly for logistical support accorded to the committee during the oversight exercise. I take this opportunity to also thank the members of the County Assembly for their commitment and input during the entire exercise. Mr. Speaker, sir, on behalf of the committee, it's my pleasure and duty to present to this Honorable House the committee's report on the oversight of problematic water projects across the county for consideration and adoption. The Speaker, that said and done, I wish to say that everybody was involved in this exercise. And we went through this exercise together as an assembly. We visited different wards, and that is what came back to us as a committee from the honorable members. That said and done, I would wish to call upon Mateso to second this report. Thank you.
Honorable members, I propose a question that is assembled above the report of the Committee on Water, Sanitation and Irrigation. On the statement regarding water tariffs hiked by the Kibwezi Makindu Water, not that one. Number. Honorable members, I now propose a question that this assembly adopt the report of the Committee on Water, Irrigation, Sanitation on the oversight on the problematic water projects across the county conducted 21st, 22nd of August year 2025, laid on the table of the assembly on 6th of October year 2025. The floor is open. The floor is open for debate. What is your point of order?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I doubt if we have quorum, enough quorum to transact business, Mr. Speaker. I doubt, Mr. Speaker. Can be confirmed. Even when the chair was moving the motion, Mr. Speaker, there was no quorum. It was moving to an empty house, Mr. Speaker. There was no quorum.
Clerk, do we have quorum? We need 5 members to proceed. Nevertheless, the debate should proceed. A member wish to contribute on this? Honorable Janet.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand to support this report. And Mr. Speaker, I have been observing why projects are being vandalized. You find that there is dire need of water in our communities, and yet, when projects have been done, you find that the citizens start vandalizing the projects. Mr. Speaker, you cannot do development without involving the people, because I regard development without involving the people as imposition. When communities are excluded from planning and decision-making, projects often fail because they don't reflect the people's real needs, priorities, culture, or lived experiences. And Mr. Speaker, I am backing my observation by saying we involve our communities when we do public participation. But Mr. Speaker, I feel that is not enough. When when the citizens identify projects, when the contractor is taken to the site, I feel there is need for the community to be mobilized. They be told about the projects and all what it will take, so that they can be part of it. Mr. Speaker, we cannot go on doing projects and leave our people to vandalize. They should be feeling that they participated. The people, they should feel that they have been consulted or they have been actively involved. It should be inclusive, whether all groups of the people in that community have been involved. And Mr. Speaker, at the end of the day, when that process is complete, the community will own the project. They will not feel that this is a county project. I had some people, when we were doing a public participation on the physical strategy paper, I had some community people saying, and Maka and Moka, they don't feel that, end of quote, they don't feel that they are part of that Andoma count. They feel that the count is there and they are there. They do not own projects. So we need to go an extra mile to make our communities feel that the projects are theirs, not the county's projects. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support the motion.
Honorable Olona.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I will support this motion. I know the bishop may think that I'm not, but I want to tell him from the onset that I'm going to support this motion. This is a very good motion. He is the chairperson, Honorable Speaker. I am addressing the Speaker, but this motion cannot go without mentioning the chair. And if he didn't want to be mentioned, I think he should not be the chair. Honorable Speaker, it's a good job, well done by the committee in compiling those reports from the wards. Honorable Speaker, I want to also thank the members of the Assembly for doing a good job. The TORs, I think, have really been worked on, and they have been responded to in all the wards, the 30 wards, Honorable Speaker. We have big problems with some of the community projects. Our recommendation since time immemorial has been very simple, Honorable Speaker, is to have those community projects being run by the water service providers who are licensed by the ECM for water, Honorable Speaker. So why should we be waiting? Let's take, for example, Yongoso Water Project in Makindo, done by WHH, partly by also county. But the biggest problem with that water project is management. In fact, 2 weeks ago, they stopped WHH from visiting the water project. They did a very strong and powerful letter to WHH, people who are the sponsors of the water project. It's a big shame, Honorable Speaker, when the county is not able to run those water projects. We have service providers spread across the county. We may have issues with the Notresh because of Kilome and other places. But I can tell you, Honorable Speaker, if we utilize the Kibmasco, Wasco, and Bonewasco, I think we will not have these issues. We have also seen issues to do with the land, the people who donate these lands, Honorable Speaker. They do not have clear policy on how to acquire these lands, how the documentation should go, who should be taking charge of the transfer of these documents, Honorable Speaker. It's a big problem. Now we have the office of the county attorney. Why don't we utilize the office of the county attorney to even transfer these properties to these water service providers? It has been a big question and also an audit query across board when it comes to these water service providers, not having a proper documentation to show the ownership of these pieces of land, Honorable Speaker. If we can enforce that, that's why I always call upon the Honorable Chair for implementation to help us with that. Because we are not able to do recommendations at peak or park, then we follow them up while we have a committee, which is a standing committee, to help us with that, Honorable Speaker. If we can help this county by making sure that whatever recommendation, whatever resolutions this assembly does, Honorable Speaker, it will really help the people of Makueni in getting value for their monies. So that is part of what I think should be looked at. Honorable Speaker, with the problematic projects for this department, Honorable Speaker, you will also find out that budget aspect is a big problem. Sometimes we faced the project, but it is impossible sometimes even to allocate these monies in the subsequent budgets and budget cycles. If it is possible for members also to take charge of their wards in terms of how the public should assign and also align these budgets, Honorable Speaker, will really have helped the people of Makueni. I saw the petitions. I saw the petitions, and especially petitions from Makindu, partly because the Honorable Member thought they could face some of the projects. The Honorable Member thought he can balance some of the projects because appropriation is the work of this assembly. And the Honorable Member for that ward, Honorable Speaker, has the constitutional rights to put and to align budgets the way he feels they should be. And that's why you can see some of the petitioners are running away. You see the petitioners from Kabonzweni ran away also. You cannot trace them. I don't know whether they were manufactured or they are faceless petitioners because they are not able to. Because the Honorable Member for Kabonzweni, as the lingua franca of this budget, Honorable Speaker, understands the governor's manifesto, his manifesto, and also the people's needs. And that's why you can see he's able, sometimes, when one of the stages is bypassed, the Honorable Member will now have a choice but to do what is right for the people. And that's why you can see these projects, sometimes, if we give the leeway to the communities without being guided, Honorable Speaker, they will put monies where they are not supposed to. I have a water project in my place, which we funded for more than 6 years. If I had not been re-elected in 2022, maybe the other person could have brought new projects. And then we lose out the value for the monies we had spent, more than 30 million, Honorable Speaker. Now, the water project is running because I was able to put monies towards responding to those issues, Honorable Speaker. The same with Kitokosio and also Kiloi water projects, Honorable Speaker. So it's a big challenge and a big choice for all of us to see whether we want to do what is right or we want to impress somebody or we want to just accept what comes from the public participation events, Honorable Speaker. So it's a big challenge for all of us. I want to also appreciate the leadership of this assembly for seeing it wise to have a joint public participation during the estimates. And I think most of the issues have been aligned. I was in Ngumo, I was in Makindu. I think we were taking more than a whole day in trying to align those aspects, Honorable Speaker, because the Assembly proposes this, the Executive also has this, the communities has this. Some of the cross-cutting issues are left unattended to, Honorable Speaker. But when now the joint sessions come in, at least the budget is aligned in a fairer way, Honorable Speaker. So it's a big call for all of us. We need to relook into this. If it is a budgeting aspect, if it's about facing, if it is about vandalism, as my honorable friend, Honorable Kitunga, has also indicated, how communities are left to even vandalize. The Department of Water has a very strong tool to enforce vandalism, Honorable Speaker. In fact, the national government has a national police unit dedicated solely to deal with water vandalism, Honorable Speaker. Water vandalism and project vandalism is treated as a terrorism activity, Honorable Speaker. And that's why we want to challenge the department to make sure that the Water Act 2016, the National Water Act 2016, speaks of the same. The Water Act for the county for 2020, Honorable Speaker, is a replica of the National Water Act, which was passed by the National Assembly in 2016. Honorable Speaker, if we can enforce these things, I was surprised. We were hosting sponsors and stakeholders from Gaka Health Center, Honorable Speaker. But unfortunately, the governor was not able to open the water project because it was vandalized upstream. People in Kiboko, some guys were paid by detractors and political thugs, and they cut off the water pipeline, taking water to Ngaka. The governor was frustrated. The sponsors were also frustrated because they had invested a lot of money into this project, but vandalism took a toll of it, Honorable Speaker. It's a big ask. We need to really work closely. The department needs to up their skills, up their response rate, Honorable Speaker, and that will really help the people of Makueni. So I want to appreciate the Honorable Chair and everybody for having a very good report. And if we act on this report, if the Honorable Chair for implementation brings this report within 60 days, as it has been indicated in the resolutions, Honorable Speaker, I think we will have one of the best run water projects in the county of Makueni in the name of water and community water projects, Honorable Speaker, and also the water service providers, Kimasco, Boniwasco, and Owasco. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I wish members who can give this time, let's give a big yes, but I don't know whether it is procedural for us to give a big yes when we don't have quorum. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Sergeant at Arms, you ring the bell for quorum. We need one more member. Sergeant at Arms, you ring the bell. Any other member willing to contribute? Yes, continue. Before you continue, there is Honorable Manzia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand in support of the motion. However, as a government, we ought to deepen participatory governance and accountability to ensure sustainability of the water projects and encourage ownership by our people to avoid vandalism of the water projects. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Elizabeth Mutindi Kiyo.
I was not pressing to to contribute towards this motion, Speaker. I thought you said we can speak about anything else until we get quorum.
Sorry?
I wanted to vent now, but it's not related to the
Go ahead.
Honorable Speaker, I wish to urge the ABC to be consider it sometimes. All the motions that are committed to the Committee on Gender are always the last in the order paper. Honorable Speaker, if you look around.
And Mr. Speaker, sustainability of the project, Mr. Speaker. Because most of the projects that we do, Mr. Speaker, you can find, like a water project, the PMC, which was there supervising the project, is the one now which is left to implement the project, Mr. Speaker. And there are, you know, we are human beings, and sometimes we have people develop friction because they are differing some opinions, Mr. Speaker. And you find that those people are the ones who go and vandalize. Maybe there could be somebody behind them, but it is, in most cases, Mr. Speaker, we had the cases of the Nautilus water when it was first commissioned, Mr. Speaker. Maasais could go there and break the pipe so that they can get water. They were not being guided by anybody, but because of their need for water. Water is passing through their land, it is going somewhere else. You might find a pipe passing through somebody's land, and the person doesn't get water. The water is going far, and there is no distribution of the water properly, Mr. Speaker. So when we identify projects, Mr. Speaker, we should identify projects, do public, but with the aim, with oversight on what will happen after the project is completed. That is the sustainability part of it, Mr. Speaker. And we need to do a lot of civic education to the people, Mr. Speaker, so that they understand why this is happening, why this has not been done, Mr. Speaker, to understand that there is scarcity of money in Kenya, not even Makueni, Mr. Speaker, so that they understand those things. And when they are giving their project, Mr. Speaker, to understand, we need to do one project that will help around 100 homesteads, Mr. Speaker. Then the other financial year we do another one in another area, which will also help 100 on that area. We go systematically with the people, knowing that we are doing that because we have scarce resources. We cannot give water to everybody at once within one financial year. So, Mr. Speaker, I remember when the Dwake Bridge was being constructed, Mr. Speaker, it took like 300 million, but in bits, Mr. Speaker, and you are there. That time you were a minister in the ECM, in the government, Mr. Speaker. It took step by step, 50 million, and it got completed, Mr. Speaker. And this is what we need to do. We need to focus on undertaking projects that can have a lot of impact systematically. This area this time, this area this time, with the proper guidelines. So now we are going to manage the project. And this is the high time, Mr. Speaker, we develop a policy to guide project identification, project implementation, and project sustainability, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Matia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would wish to register my support in this motion from the onset. And Mr. Speaker, looking back to the many reports that the committee has brought to this House, Mr. Speaker, the conceptualization of projects has been very good. Sometimes when we do implementation of these projects and we have community engagements, you feel the way, especially women, the way they praise that project, the way they pray the project is going to be beneficial to the community, and the way they will now stop going many kilometers in search of water and such resources. Mr. Speaker, a few years down the line, you find the same people lamenting that vandalization has taken place, this and that has not been done. Mr. Speaker, a closer look at that, you realize some of these things happen down there, and they take time before they get to us or even to the department. And even when they get to the department, Mr. Speaker, some of those complaints require monetary allocations for rectifications. And Mr. Speaker, I would wish to ask the committee, or even the House, to relook into this issue. Like, for example, if we could have champions for specific projects. Mr. Speaker, you realize that over time, the boards elected to manage these projects become enemies to the community because someone has failed to pay a bill and would want to continue enjoying water. And such, Mr. Speaker, when you enforce that, those communities become not friendly to the boards. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, some of these things go unreported. But Mr. Speaker, if we are to have a champion who is not connected to the board and whose job is just merely to monitor that project, if a pipe bursts, he or she is the first person to know, moves very fast to the board to ensure that it is repaired, and even this capacity building, so that even at times they could have barazas to engage the community on the essence of owning this project to avoid vandalization. Because, Mr. Speaker, once a board has been elected, Mr. Speaker, it starts from the onset, enforcing whoever has not paid bill in a katwa. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, over time, you realize that at our Ongeleshan, they don't talk to each other in the community simply because the board is trying to ensure that the water bills are paid. And therefore, the communication between the board and the community breaks down. That breakdown offers spills to the government. But if we had a champion who calls for community engagement so that the two factions can be brought together and that information is brought to the government, Mr. Speaker, I think some of these community-led projects could be run effectively. It's my view. I would wish the community to think it in that directive. Thank you.
One minute remaining. Both whips, you can't afford one member. Not put the question. The question will be put on the subsequent sitting after the motion mover will be given an opportunity to respond. Honorable members, time now being 16:58 hours, the assembly starts adjourned until tomorrow, Friday, 24th of February 2028 at 09:30 hours.